Hello, my name is Wendy Simmons, and today I am going to formulate a problem using linear programming. So, I'm trying to get this held right. Consider a chocolate manufacturing company produces two types of chocolate, A and B. Both the chocolates require milk and chocolate only. Each unit A requires 1 unit of milk and 3 units of chocolate. Each unit of B requires 1 unit of milk and 2 units of chocolate. The kitchen has a total of 5 units of milk and 12 units of chocolate. On each sale, the company makes a profit of $6 per unit of A and $5 per unit of B. The company wishes to maximize its profits. How many units of A and B should it produce respectively? So we're going to start by defining our variables. So we're going to let units A equal X, and we're going to let units B equal Y. The total profit will be represented by P. So to get our objective function, we must find an equation of the total profit the company makes by the total number of units A and B produced multiplied by its unit profit of 6 and 5 respectively. So our profit will equal 6 units of A plus $5 per Y unit. So we have $6 per every A unit, $5 for every B unit. The resources of milk and chocolate are limited, thus giving us our first constraints. We have 5 units of milk available to us, and we have 12 units of chocolate given to us. So we are going to get our first constraint. We have X unit plus Y unit has to be less than or equal to 5 units of milk. Also, each unit of A and B requires 3 units and 2 units of chocolate respectively. The total number of chocolate cannot exceed 12. So we have 3 units of A and we have 2 units of B. So, therefore, 3 units of X plus 2 units of 2 units of Y cannot be, it has to be less than or equal to 12 units that we have up here of chocolate. So here is our first constraint. X plus Y has to be less than or equal to 5 because that's all the milk we have to use. Our second constraint will be 3x plus 2y has to be less than or equal to 12 because that's all the milk we have to use. Hold on, I gotta check and make sure I'm doing that right. Yes. Okay, I was checking, wondering why I didn't show a coefficient in front of these two variables, and it's because each one only requires 1 unit of milk, and so therefore you do not have to put 1x plus 1y. Having an x and a y, it is automatically understood that those stand for 1. Therefore, we would have 1x plus 1y has to be less than or equal to 5 units of milk. So I'm going to rewrite my constraints right here. So everything's together. Constraints. Our first one was x units plus y units has to be less than or equal to 5 units of milk. Our second constraint was 3 units of x plus 2 units that it takes to make the candy a B has to be less than or equal to 12. So that's our first two constraints. The values for units of A can only be integers. So we have two more constraints of A and B can only be integers. So we have x has to be greater than or equal to 0. Y has to be greater than or equal to 0. So there's our constraints. Now we have to find out what are our points that we can graph. So we're first going to do this one. Number 1, we have x plus y is less than or equal to 5. So if we cover up the y, we have x is less than or equal to 5. So our first point is going to be x is 5, y is 0. Our second point will be x as 0 and y as 5. Now we need to find the points for our second constraint. Our second constraint is 3x plus 2y has to be less than or equal to 12. In order to get this, we're going to start by covering up the 2y because we would multiply 2 times 0. We would put 0 in the place of y to get this zeroed out. So we have 3x is less than or equal to 12. Tristan, please go open the drawer. So to get the answers, we would bring the 3 over and divide it. So that would give us x equals 4, y being 0. Now we will zero out this side. We have 2y equals 12. We will bring this over and divide, which would give us 6. So then we would have 0 for x and 6 for y. That's our point so far that we will graph. Number 3 and 4 automatically tells us it's 0. X is 0, y is 0. So we will draw our graph. And because we're working with all positive points, we know that it's going to be graphed in the first quadrant. So let's make our graph. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have to go up to at least 6 on the y-axis. So we'll have 6 here. And we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go on and make both of them 6. So this is our x-axis, this is our y-axis. Our first point that we are going to plot is 0 and 0. So we have 0 on the x-axis, 0 on the y-axis. The second plot, we're going to plot this line. We're going to go 5x, 0y. The second one, we're going to go 0x, 5y. The next point, we're going to go 4y, 0. I'm sorry, 4x, 0y. 0y, 6. Let's connect our first points, which was 5, 0, 0, 5. Those lines go to infinity. Now we're going to plot our next line. And it appears that they intersect right here about at point 2, 3. So what we want to do now is we want to build a table to find the maximum profit. So we're going to take all of our points. We're going to start with 0, 0. Then we're going to have 5, 0, 0, 5, 4, 0, 0, 6, and then our intersect at 2 and 3. What we want to do to find the maximum profit, remember I said in the beginning, our original equation, profit equals $6 per unit of X plus $5 per unit of Y. We are going to plug these points in for X and Y. So our first equation, we have 6 times 0 plus 5 times 0. That gives us 0. Then we have X of 5. So we have 6, I always do that, times 5 plus 5 times 0. We know 5 times 0 is 0. 6 times 5 is 30. So that gives us a profit of 30. Then we have 6 times 0 plus 5 times 5. I think I'm doing this right. Yes. 6 times 0, 0. 5 times 5 is 25. So then we have 6 times 4 plus 5 times 0 would give us 24. We have 6 times 0 plus 5 times 6 would give us 30. Then we have 6 times 2 plus 5 times 3. This would give us 12. This would give us 15, which would give us a total of 27. So, in order to get max profit, we need to make and sell 30 units of A or B. That's it. We got our constraints. We found our points. We plotted our points. We made our table. We subbed in our points into our original equation. And there you have it. Our minimum would be 0. Of course, if you didn't want to make any profit, you wouldn't make any candy. The max is 30. There you have it. Have a great day.